In Year 4, we're expected to be able to add together two 4-digit numbers. So today we're going to do 4,256 add 1,987. So what we've got on the place value mat already, we've got the counters laid out. So we've got the 4,256 here, and then underneath that we've got 1,987. Now when we're adding, it doesn't matter which order we put these numbers. I could have put the smaller number at the top, but because this number's first, I've started with that number at the top here. So I'm going to show how to do it using a place value mat, also using a pictorial representation, and finally with a column addition at the side as well. So what I'm going to do next is set up the pictorial representation and the former method so you can see how they look alongside the place value mat. So first thing, we need our column headings. So we've got thousands, hundreds, tens and ones, and here we would have thousands, hundreds, tens and ones. So we've got 4,256 add 1,987 underneath, and we would put a neat line under there to show the former method. Here we need our columns, and we would draw the counters in a similar way to these being placed at the top. So we've got 4,000 for the first number, 200, 5 tens and 6 ones. And then we've got 1,987. So to start off with then, we're going to start in the ones column, so we're going to do 6 add 7. So 6 add 7 we know is 13. So what I'm going to do is write 13 on my formal method here. So 3 ones here and a 10 in this column. I'm going to show how that works now with the ones counters up here. So we've got 6 ones add the 7 ones. Well, I know that 7 add 3 makes a group of 10. So we've got 3 left over, that's where this 3 comes from down here. So what I'm going to do now is regroup this group of 10 as a 10 in the tens column. So I'm going to take those out of the way and replace that now with an extra 10 in the tens column, which is where this 10 has come from in this column here. Now with the pictorial representation, we can show that by grouping 10 of these. So we've got 7 at the bottom, and we can group another 3, and we can move that into this column and put an extra 10 in the tens column. Next up, we're going to do the tens column. So we've got a 1 10 that we've just regrouped. We've got 5 tens here, and we've got 8 tens underneath. So 8 add 5 add 1. So 8 add the 5 would make 13. Add the 1 would make 14. So we'll put the 14 tens. So we'd show 14 tens like so. Now to show where this comes from and why we need to put 100 in this column here, I'm going to show it with the tens now, or with the place value counters. So we've got 8. We know that an extra 2 makes 10 tens in this column. So I'm going to regroup those 10 tens as an extra 100. So I'm going to put 100 in this column like so. So we've got 10 tens there, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tens left over. So we've got the 4 tens there and the 10 tens in the hundreds column. So if we show that with this pictorial representation, we've got 8 there, add the 2, regroup that as an extra 100, leaves us with 4 tens left over, which you can see on all of the methods like so. Now next we've got the hundreds column. So we've got 9 hundreds, add the 2, add the 100. So 9, we can use that one there to make number bonds to 10 hundreds here. So I can put that as, I can regroup those, regroup that as an extra 1,000. And I can show that in this method like so by showing 9 add the 1 makes 10, and I've got 2 hundreds left over. So I've got 2 hundreds in this column, and I've just regrouped an extra 1,000 in this column like so. I could show that again with this by grouping the 10 hundreds together to make an extra 1,000, which leaves me with 2 hundreds in this column, which is 2 over here as well. Now finally I've got the 1,000 and the 4,000s, add the extra 1,000 makes 6,000. So the answer we're looking for would be 6,243.